What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Taitt here for SHEEN Magazine. I'm joined with the lovely Chrissy Monroe, who was a former castmate on Love and Hip Hop, but more importantly, she is the founder of an amazing organization which is geared towards those who have had experiences with domestic violence. So, Chrissy, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's a little bit cold today, isn't it?
Freezing out there. I'm wearing my whole sweater outfit.
I know. I feel like yesterday was like summer weather, like today is like fall weather.
Yes.
But you have an amazing event coming up on Sunday. Before we get into that, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about as to the organization and what prompted you to create such an organization as this.
Okay, well, most people do know me from Love and Hip Hop New York Season 5. I was with a married man and got my heart broken in front of the entire world, which was pretty humiliating, to say the least. But, you know, women go through that, and it's life. But, you know, I left the show on good terms, got into another relationship with a younger man a few months later who was 13 years younger than me, who I met at a charity event. I mean, he was very, very cute, hot. I mean... Yes. So it was like instant, like, oh my God, I must have this man, whatever. So we hit it off. Make a long story short, we got into a relationship pretty quickly. And it got to be pretty much every phase of abuse that you can imagine. It went from first the emotional abuse to the verbal abuse. Then it got physical. And then financial, if you want to say financial, because he also robbed me of over $10,000 worth of jewelry. So, I didn't know I was being abused in the beginning. The emotional abuse was ignoring me, denying sex. I learned now after the fact that it's manipulation, and it makes you question yourself, makes you question your self-esteem. Am I still attractive? Is he cheating on me? What did I do wrong? But it's just all games that these abusers play to start breaking you down mentally. So he started doing that, and it was so subtle, you just really don't realize it's happening. Because then he's back to being the cool person. But then it's the mind games. Then it became very verbal with the name calling. And when he started with the verbal, I immediately told him this isn't going to work. You know, he's like, no, I won't do it again. Because he really like flipped on me like schizophrenic flip. And I was like, whoa, who is this person? But like I said, we were already involved. The sex was amazing. You know, he was great companionship to go do things with. You know, I thought I found the one. Like, he was great, but he was not the one. So it shortly turned physical. I remember the first time he hit me, we were on the Deegan Expressway. I had a Camaro convertible. It was summertime. And I said something he didn't like or something, and he just, boom, punched me in my face. And I had blood squirting from my nose all over the car, all over my steering wheel. I had never had a bloody nose in my life. So I was just panicking, and blood was just coming out like a fountain. Like you see in the movies, yeah, that's how it was. Sure. I literally just put my car in park in the middle of the highway, and I didn't pull over, and I just started screaming. And he was like, oh, calm down, calm down. Oh. And I saw it that he wasn't trying to calm me down because he cared. He was trying to calm me down because he didn't want to get caught.
Correct, for sure.
So I knew I was dealing with a real sick one. Mm-hmm. Can I curse? Or no,
you can't curse.
No cursing. Okay, I'm just asking. So I always ask. You never know. So I knew I was dealing with somebody very sick, but by this time, unfortunately, he had already been moved into my house. Mm-hmm. And then basically, you know, I told him, you got to go. You got to get out. He's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. You're playing with my freedom if you call the police on me, because he was paroled to my house. I'm not going to leave that out. I knew that he had just come home from prison, but I overlooked that. He said it was a drug charge. So, you know, I dated drug dealers in the past, you know, whatever. I'm from Baltimore. It was nothing new to me. I dated many guys that were in the streets coming up. So I wasn't judging him off of that. He had a job and everything. So, you know, seemed like he was trying to get his life together. So I was fine with that. But anytime I threatened to call the police or call his parole, he would beat me up and say, you know, you're going to pay with your life. He would have other women call me telling me they were going to come cut my face open. They would say my home address to me. And he really just enjoyed this. I could tell he was enjoying, like, just abusing me. I have permanent hearing damage in my left ear where he punched a hole in my left eardrum. My left jaw is permanently dislocated. My front tooth here was chipped in half from him punching me in my mouth. It goes on, to the point of me going to the hospital and lying with black eyes, saying that I got into a bar fight. One time I had a cracked rib, and the doctor, she was like, "Are you sure you got into a fight?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Girls are haters." But I was covering up the fact that I was being abused by the man that I lived with because I was embarrassed and ashamed. I didn't know how to deal with the emotions. You know, it was the first time this has happened to me. I grew up in an abusive home with a mother who abused my father. So there was a part of me, sadly, that felt some type of normalcy with all of this going on because I grew up around abuse. It was kind of a way of showing that you cared in some sick way. But it's not. So I got him out of my life through the grace of God. God took that man from my life. Praise the Lord. I prayed. I was like, God, please let him get hit by a bus, anything. He went out and committed a crime and ended up in the hospital. I guess it backfired on him. Let's just keep it at a short story there. And as soon as I was in the hospital and handcuffed to the bed, I had gotten the message. That's when I packed all his things and got him out and changed the locks. So he tried to come back. He called when he got out of jail. He said, "Come pick me up." I said, "Come pick you up." He's like, "I want to come home." I said, "This is not your home anymore. Your stuff is at your cousin's." Started cursing me out, and I was done with it. So I pressed charges. But during the time I'm pressing charges, he'd already gone and attacked another female in Coney Island and gotten arrested for kicking her door in.
Wow.
Come to find out, the jewelry that he had stolen from me, she had, and they were fighting over my jewelry like two animals. So she wouldn't give it back. He's trying to kick in her door. It's just
stolen material.
Yeah, over my stuff. Just ratchet. But that's good because he ended up back in jail. So, make a long story short, just to give you an overview of why I started Survive to Thrive Global. When I pressed charges, I was met with the hesitation from the police officers of why didn't you come sooner? The DA, she didn't really feel like filling out paperwork. He only got 3 months for what he did to me. And they ran it concurrent because they had already given him a year now back in jail for kicking in that girl's door on a parole violation. So the 3 months they gave him, they ran it concurrent with the time he's already in there. So basically he didn't do 1 second extra for what he did to me.
Wow.
And when I called the DA's office, I said, "Are you kidding me?" She said, "Well, at least we charged him, ma'am." I said, "He has 3 felonies." I said, "Do you think he cares about the misdemeanor assault charge you gave him?" I said, "He's laughing." I said, "Thanks a lot." And I hung up. I was so angry. I said, "I got to do something about this." I even had a victim's advocate go with me to the court to get I have a 5-year order of protection as well, by the way. And she told me, she said, "If you weren't on TV, they wouldn't have helped us today." And it really broke my heart.
Because it goes to show you how many people are being affected by domestic violence. And a lot of times when people are in these relationships or in situations, they're very quiet about it. You know, they don't really come forth and speak out. Why was it important for you to really share your story with so many people on social media, as well as even having this event on October 21st?
It was important for me because I feel as though I've been blessed by God to have a platform. I came a long way from coming from Baltimore to getting on one of the top TV shows in the world, and I don't believe that's by chance. And I said, wait a minute, I have a voice. You know, I have a following. What am I doing, posting tea? Like, no, I could really do more than that. You know what I'm saying? And make some changes. And I was that angry at the legal system, how they failed me. And I said, they must be really failing other people too.
Correct.
Because I see on the news so many people are losing their lives just for no reason, because they're letting these guys right back out after they offend to reoffend and even kill.
For sure.
And something's got to be done about it. And if I don't speak up, who's going to speak up? So, thus, I said, you know what? I thought about it. I prayed on it. I said, I need to start some kind of foundation or something. And I didn't know about it, doing any of these foundations or nonprofits. I didn't know about all the legalities. Luckily, I have a friend. She's also a board member, Claudia Pollock, who she said, don't worry. She said, just get the legal filing fees together and everything, and I'll file it for you and set it up. And thus, Survive to Thrive Global was born. And I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew I had the desire to help people not to go through what I went through.
Tell me a little bit about the work that you're doing with victims who have been affected by this.
Okay, well, I don't do counseling because I'm not a licensed counselor. And God forbid I tell somebody, oh, girl, go throw a pan of hot grease on him or something. Like people told me. And they get hurt even worse. So no. I'm not a counselor. I'm not being liable to tell somebody to go do something where they could get hurt or killed because Chrissy said, oh, she used to do this. So I said, what can I do with this platform? Well, I have all these relationships with celebrities, business owners, people that I've worked with that want promotion and they want to help. So I said, wait a minute, let me see. These women and men in the shelter, I say women a lot because I'm speaking from my experience as a woman. You know, they're in a shelter and they can't get out a lot of times because they can't get approved for an apartment because their credit's messed up due to financial abuse, being in this relationship. Or they need to get their tooth put back in their mouth because their boyfriend punched it out, and they don't want to smile at a job interview and they're hanging their head down. Some women have been burnt in the face with cigarettes. So many things. So I've reached out to some people that I know. Steinway Dental, who will also be in attendance on Sunday night, will be there. I've been working with them and referring people. They do free cosmetic dentistry for crime victims, and they get reimbursed through the New York State Crime Victims Fund. So we can give people their smile back. And it's not costing me anything. It's not costing them anything. The state is reimbursing them for their time, and these women are getting their life back together in one way. It's not an immediate necessity as food and shelter, but these things are crucial in getting your life back on track the right way.
For sure. October 21st, people are going to have an opportunity to see just a glimpse of that, right? You're going to have Remy Ma, you're going to have Papoose, you're going to have Fat Joe there. Tell me a little bit as to what people can expect and anticipate coming out on the 21st.
Okay, well, it's going to be a 5-hour evening. We want to give people that, their time to come and go, or people that can't make it early, they can come late, or vice versa. We are going to have a documentary that's produced and directed by Lynn Hobson that I actually was in. Chinese Kitty from the Love and Hip Hop Florida cast is also in the documentary telling her story. I had no idea she had went through something as well. And we're going to be showing the documentary, and we're going to have a fashion show.
You have a jam-packed day.
Yes.
In there.
Well, we got 5 hours, so we're good. We have a fashion show that is produced by Dina Lancree. Liana Aguilera is the designer. Fabulous clothing. Al Reynolds is going to be emceeing the evening. He's got such an over-the-top personality, and he's just funny. He's great. We just have a really good night planned. Rodiga is a board member as well. She will be there. And I really appreciate Remy Ma, Papoose, and Fat Joe for lending their time and their hearts to come and support the cause. I mean, it means a lot because, they have big platforms as well. And, if it means having celebrities at the event to draw more people to come in and donate to the cause, so be it. It's all for the greater good. And I really just feel grateful. I started this in 2016 that this foundation has this much support in such a short period of time.
That's awesome. And I think that what people don't realize is that through these events that there could be someone who's in the room that might actually be in an abusive relationship. And so many times there are people who are silently suffering, and they need to make that step to speak out, right? To seek justice, to, talk to a friend, talk to a police officer, because it could be their life. Tomorrow could literally be their last day. Why do you think victims wait so long to speak up when they are in a relationship that is abusive?
It's a lot of reasons. I went through those emotions. Like for me, it was the embarrassment and the shame, because I was proud of myself as being a strong woman, and I would never let a man disrespect me. It was embarrassing that this man was beating me up. You know what I mean? I was embarrassed, but I know it was nothing wrong that I did. But those were the emotions, because it was very mental. The physical scars are nothing in comparison to the abuse that I went through. A lot of reasons it's for that reason. A lot of the shame involved, and a lot of it is fear. A lot of people are very afraid of their abuser, afraid for their lives, because they are told, if you leave me, I will kill you. If you get me locked up, I will kill you. And a lot of them hold them. They come back and find them, and just who you see on the 5 o'clock news, man kills his wife and kids and then shoots himself. They find him next to Van Cortlandt Park or whatever. I can't live without you. You're not going to be with anybody else. We're going to die together. You see it all the time, and this is why a lot of people don't come forward. Out of fear, I say, is the number one factor.
I think fear, and also when we look at this whole Me Too movement that's taking place right now, I mean, we see Brett Kavanaugh testifying against Blasey Ford. I know that ant's kind of getting in the way. Testifying against Blasey Ford after something that allegedly happened 30 years ago. But it shows you how many people are walking with so much pain, walking in silence, and not truly telling their stories as quickly as it needs to be told. Just tell me, what do you want the takeaway to be on the 21st? What do you want people to walk away with from that event? Those who might not be in abusive relationships, some that may be in abusive relationships, and some that may have gotten through abusive relationships.
I want people to walk away feeling empowered and educated. To see the signs, to know what to look for if they do have a relative, a neighbor, a church member, coworker, to kind of look out for the signs. To know, because I didn't know the signs until it really happened to me. Now when I see people, I can kind of tell, like, girl, are you going through something? I want people to know, because I'm going to be speaking, and I want to educate people that night on some of the things. And I want them to feel empowered to get out and help themselves if they are in the relationship, to maybe get the courage to leave and the strength to leave by seeing so many other survivors in the room that night, or empowered to help those that they may know for sure are going through it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
thank you.
People have only a short amount of time to go get their tickets on October 21st. It's going to be Fat Joe. It's going to be
Papoose, Remy Ma, Tony Sunshine, Rod Zega, and Al Reynolds.
Cool. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time to be educated, a great time to hear new information, as well as to have a awesome time to meet new people, to network, and to have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. A lot of all positive vibes, a lot of really people that are just there to support the cause and really about it. And a lot of people have their stories to tell. So it's just a night of unity and inspiration.
Well, that's awesome. And I want to salute you for being the founder of Survive to Thrive, and just with the initiative of giving back, with the initiative of creating awareness, because there's that song that says reach out and touch someone's hands, make this world a better place if you can. And if we all do our part, we can make the world that much better of a place.
I agree.
So we thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just want to thank Chrissy Monroe for coming to SHEEN Magazine, for sharing her incredible story, as well as for her event that's going to be taking place on October 21st. Be sure to get tickets on Eventbrite. I'm telling you, it's not going to be an event that you want to miss. Fat Joe, Remy Ma, and Papoose are all going to be there with some celebrity sightings. We'll see you then. That's all for SHEEN Magazine. I'm Phil Taitt, and have a great day.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Chrissy Monroe. I know you just heard about our event for Survive to Thrive Global this Sunday, October 21st. But if you can't make it, you can find us all year long on Instagram at Survive to Thrive Global, on our website at www.survivetothriveglobal.org, on Twitter at STT_global, and on Facebook at Survive to Thrive Global. Check us out.